This is Empowering Homeschool Conversations, provided by SPED Homeschool. Go to spedhomeschool.com to get resources and support for teaching your unique learner at home.
How can I build my son's cognitive skills? How can I build these? Because it wasn't more academics. It wasn't a different math curriculum.
Right, because you already went down that path.
Right. And no, that was not the answer.
Right.
We had slowed it down at his pace. We had done all those.
Yes.
So that's where I had studied some of the ways that those things were assessed. Okay.
Yeah.
And I thought, if that's how they're assessing that, why don't we use some of those to actually train those regions of the brain? So I looked at multiple different things really over the last almost 100 years in neuroscience and psychology, and just studied. And I kept coming back because I'm classically trained to having a conversation with everything. So let's process images and letters and numbers and sounds and symbols.
Absolutely.
And then I did come across the work of Dr. Reuven Feuerstein out of Israel, and found out that he had been talking about cognitive functions, which are very similar, but he even broke them down further. He said, can a student name the thing that they're even thinking about? Do they know the name for it? Can they think about? Yes, they do classification. Are they forming images? Can they focus? Can they perceive what they're seeing? Can they do a systematic search?
Right.
We can think of it when someone goes to the refrigerator and they say, well, I don't see anything. And
exactly. Yes.
Or the bookshelf or in your room. And so he was looking much further down at those cognitive functions. And he never even used the term processing or working memory or executive functioning, but he was the forerunner in a lot of that language. But he came in very differently because Dr. Feuerstein worked with individuals who had been through severe trauma, who had intellectual disabilities, who may have had autism or Down syndrome. And he believed, before we even had the technology to prove it, he was saying that the brain could change, that neurons could be created and strengthened and connected. And honestly, when he was saying this, people would walk out of his lectures. And I mean, they really would. He would be over here in the United States and people would just say, well,
Right.
This is Empowering Homeschool Conversations, provided by SPED Homeschool. Go to spedhomeschool.com to get resources and support for teaching your unique learner at home.